That would kind of make more sense.
그런 자부심을 가질 수 있을 만한 그런 위치이기 때문에 이번 경기 위기 상황을 끝내겠죠. 왜냐 다음 경기 누가 나오겠습니까? SK가 준비된 선수는 안 봐도 알잖아요 우리가.
하고 있잖아요. 정윤종밖에 없잖아요. 자, 그쪽으로 활동을 이어줘야죠.
I think it's gonna be Guemchi, aka Xanadu. Yes, indeedy. That is the only Protoss available. Alright, PvP. This is actually really good for Ace. Xanadu could absolutely win this game and take it to an Ace match. That would be pretty crazy. Oh man, if SKT loses today, I'm just gonna be giggling so hard. Oh god, I'm sorry SKT fans, I really have nothing against you, but just the amount of lulls I would get from Ace beating KT and SKT is unfathomable.
자, 과연 김승현 선수의 손에 그 모든 것이 달려 있어요. 조재욱과 김승현 오하나에서 경기 펼칩니다. 대결로 바로 넘어갈까요? 그렇지 않으면 세 번째 세트까지 연결이 될까요? 두 번째 세트 후반전 갑니다.
Come on, Ace. Come on, Ace. Just cock block SKT. Don't let him in the playoffs. Don't let him in. Spawning as the red Protoss in the top left, we will have SKT's best.
두 번째 세트 맵은 오하나입니다. 조재욱 선수의 진영이 위쪽에 배치가 되어 있습니다. 자, 조금.
And in the bottom right, as the blue Protoss, we will have Air Force Aces Xanadu, aka Guemchi.
바로 김승현 선수입니다. 아마 지금 동물의 선수들이 승현아, 너무 믿어, 막 이렇게 외치고 있을 거예요.
공진 스타즈도 그렇고요. 네, 그래서
Yeah, see, that guy wants Ace to win as well. Woo! Go Ace! Woo! Fighting!
그 저그 대 저그는 길거리 싸움입니다. 형식도 없고 아무것도 없어요. 그냥 그때그때 막전해야 돼요. 네, 그리고 테란전은 체스에 비유되죠. 네, 그만큼 하나하나 잘 싸워야 되는 거예요.
So, we are on Ohana, as you can see. And I mean, Xanadu is one of the best, if not the best, StarCraft 2 player on Air Force Ace. So, that's what I was saying, you know, if anyone can do it, definitely him. I fully expect that if he wins this game, we might just see him come out in the Ace match as well. Although in the Ace match against KT Rolster, Air Force Ace actually used Cal, who won a PBT against Flash, which was extremely impressive.
김승현 선수 입장에서는 진짜 친정팀 웅진을 위해서라도 어쨌든 여기서 끝내고 애결 가서 그때 누가 나올지 모르겠습니다. 뭐 김구현 선수가 나오든 뭐 김승현이 다시 한번 나오든 어쨌든 SK텔레콤 T1을
gas being taken. Hide your face.
뭐 저희가 다 예상하고 있잖아요. 세 번째 때도 정윤종 나오지 않겠습니까? 네. 거기로 바통을 이어야죠.
그렇습니다. 그래서 정윤종 선수가 나오기 이전에 한 경기만 잡아내면 전반전 따냈기 때문에 우리가 그러니까 정윤종 선수가 나오기 전에만 한 경기만 따놓으면 무조건 이긴다. 신정을 갖고 있을 텐데 차명환 선수 승률이 0%에 수렴하던 이
It's like basically no deviations in the build just yet. Look at that! Look at that production tab! Look at it! Look at it! Like absolutely the same. Looks like the probe slightly ahead for Guemchi, but by a matter of like half a second. Oh shit! That's not good. By the time this refreshes, like the game could already be over. Yes, the game's not over. Thank goodness. Alright. So, we have a second gateway for both players. They are both going for 3 stalker openings. Awesome. And that often lends itself into Blink. Follow up. Of course, earlier today we saw that random Protoss guy. What's his name again? It was some really awesome name. It was like it began with a W. It sounded like Woongjin but cooler. It was like Woong-sik or something. I don't know. Wubsik. Myung-sik, that was it. Okay, there's no W in there. Cause close enough.
지금 똑같이 가는지 타이밍이 어떤지 이런 것들도 확실히 비교가 될 수 있습니다.
Alright, what was I talking about? Oh yes, in that game we saw Blink versus Robo. But in this game we might just see Blink versus Blink. And then it'll just come down to Micro. And then whoever expands first loses. Woohoo! Go PvP. Oh, look at this, we actually have 2 sentries. Oh. Okay, I guess it's not the 3-star Stalker opening then. Because he actually made 2 sentries. But, oh my goodness, that is a very fast Nexus there. From both players, alright. Cool. Fast expand. I like it. Uh-oh, uh-oh, run, run! Oh, he didn't chase, because he wasn't sure what was on the other side of the grass thing. Could have been another stalker there. Anyway, Robo now being added on as well, and that's of course why he got the 2 sentries there. Look at that. Both players actually adding on the Robo at exactly the same time. Look at this production tab. Everything is the same except that it looks like Best has gotten a few more sentries, and I don't even know what Gwemchi's gotten. Okay, yeah, it's 4 sentries to 2 right now. So I don't know why Cal is behind, or sorry, not Cal. Gwemchi is behind 2 sentries. I guess he has a couple more probes, I think. That might be why. Meanwhile, Gwemchi trying to sink this probe in to go scout that Nexus, but gonna get annihilated. But seeing all those sentries and seeing the positioning of them is probably going to indicate to him that it seems like it could be a fast expansion. And he should be quite happy about this. Anyway, both players are going to go for their observer anyway, just to tell for sure. And I sincerely apologize about this stream nonsense. I don't know what's going on. I don't have another stream to use. This is like the most reliable stream, and it's apparently not so reliable. I'm just like waiting for this to happen during the big engagement. It's like we see, you know, like 15 Colossi about to fight each other, and then all of a sudden the stream crashes. Life is hard, man. Them first world problems. Anyway, Robo is already on the way for Xanadu, and not on the way yet for Best. He's just chronoing out Immortals instead, just for the immediate defense, because it doesn't seem like he has any idea about exactly what's going on here. You can see he's kind of staying at the top, very top edge of his ramp, just a little bit nervous, it looks like, about any kind of attack, whereas Xanadu seems a lot more confident about just being able to hold anything and just going straight for the attack. I mean, you can look at this. Just look at the production tab. The Robo base almost finished for Xanadu, and yet it's only just started for Best. Xanadu also taking his 3rd and 4th gases a lot quicker as well, and breaking down these rocks. Potentially just going to go for a 3rd. This plays super greedy here, making as few units as he can get away with. Well, you know, so that his tech and his 3rd base are much faster. Anyway, oh, he's trying to get this observer. Can't quite get it. Silly stalkers. Oh, he doesn't see the Robo Bay. But I mean, of course he will assume, seeing the Robo, that it is going up. There's absolutely no reason to not get Robo Bay in this matchup. Unless you're going like Chargel Archon, but it's already not that, as we can see. So, it looks like War Prism on the way, potentially. Actually, on the way for both players, as well as War Prism speed. Look at that, both of them gonna go for some speed War Prism Immortal Harass, I believe. I assume that's what this is. Yes, indeedy. Here we go. Xanadu, speed finishes first. He's moving out. Speed about to finish now for Best as well. This could be very interesting. Whose micro is better? Whose multitask is better? Because, of course, remember, not only are they going to have to be harassing with these Immortals, but they also will have to be defending their opponent's Immortal Harass. So the question is, like, do you focus more on the defense? Do you focus more on the harass? I mean, if you pay too much attention to the defense, you might just accidentally lose your War Prism without looking. And this is going to be very interesting. Here we go. Best has the spotting pylon to the edge of his main. It looks like Xanadu doesn't. So Best having slightly earlier spotting, but it looks like he wasn't paying attention anyway. And the Immortals are going to work here. It looks like they're gonna go after some of these stalkers and get picked up. One of them is in a deep red. Oh man, he's gonna be very careful. One of the Immortals has just been abandoned in order to save the War Prism here. Looks like it's one stalker kill, so not really the best War Prism harass at all for Xanadu, whereas Best has actually kept everything alive and in good shape, it looks like. Looks like he was warded away, so he didn't do too much damage, but both of his Immortals still in the green, his War Prism still in the green as well, whereas Xanadu's is in the yellow, I believe, and he lost one of his Immortals, just sacrificed it in order to get away. Twilight Council looks like it's on the way. And Best, or sorry, Xanadu rather is actually moving out now, but Best has double robos. Are there double robos here? No, there's only a single robo. The second robo has just now started. So even though Xanadu got a faster robo bay and managed to start his Colossus production a little bit earlier, he is now going to start falling behind on the Colossus count a little bit. Or well, I shouldn't say falling behind, but it's going to catch. Best is going to catch up now while Xanadu is waiting for his second robo to finish. Looks like 61 probes to 53 actually. Looks like Best actually quite a bit ahead on the workers. So it looks like Best's immortal drop did actually manage to kill a good number of probes there. And looks like going in again does get spotted. This time a Zealot and rather two Zealots and one Immortal going back in to harass Best's main. Both players have taken their third bases. Looks like that Warp Prism is going to get warded away. Those two Stalkers aren't going to be enough to ward away this Warp Prism. Oh, he's actually going to drop on the low ground and range that pylon. Wait, that's in range? Oh my god, 3D graphics just boggles my mind on how ranges work. Jesus, ugh. Man, that is 3D perception thing, or whatever it is. My brain can't handle it, man. I can't handle it. Shit's too fancy for me. Oh, he might lose the Colossus! Why is he not running the Colossus? Ah! Run the Colossus away! Just run it! No, don't go back, you fool! Fly, you fool! Oh, no, actually, don't fly. You might actually kill this. Kill it. Kill it. Oh, he's warping into Stalkers. He might get it. If he targets down the Warp Prism. Oh, he's going to get it. He's going to target it down. And he gets it. And he pulls back with the Stalkers very smartly. He doesn't want to engage the Immortals head on. And he's going to grab those two Immortals as well. Very, very nicely done for Xanadu. However, he did take a good bit of damage on that one Colossus. Lost a few more probes as well. I wish they would show us the workers lost tab. Anyway. Recover. Thank you. Whew. So, third base up slightly slower for Xanadu, but it looks like Best hasn't transferred probes yet, or just now transferred, I think. And Xanadu's Warp Prism is still alive, even though he did sacrifice that earlier Immortal. Meanwhile, Templar Archives also done, getting charged, getting all the standard tech that you would see, so you can get that eventual death ball of Charge Slots, Archons, Immortals, and Colossi. Those are all the important units. The Stalkers and Sentries really not so important once you get to the late game PvP. Having a few Blink Stalkers does help out, of course. Sentries are basically useless at that point. You can just have a couple for a Guardian Shield if you really want, but they really don't do anything too important. In the meantime, Templar Archives just now starting now for Best actually, so his Templar Archives is a little bit later. Also, that energy on the Nexus, was it just me or was that Nexus almost at full energy? Apparently not using his Chrono Boosts very effectively, or at least not balancing them. One thing you have to be careful of as a Protoss is if you just have all your Nexus hotkey to the same hotkey and you just Chrono Boost like that, it will always use the energy from one Nexus first and use it all up before moving to the second Nexus rather than spreading out the energy. So it's much better to actually just either hotkey your Nexus Nexi separately, which I think is what Day9 says he does, or you just kind of like can just mouse over and check the energy levels and just try and distribute it yourself manually like that. Either way, it's not a good balance if you just have everything on one hotkey. So it looks like this army is just going to pull back a little bit here. Both players just kind of posturing in the middle of the map, but neither player really willing to commit to anything just yet. I think they're both just probably waiting for max, waiting for the infrastructure to really get up so that they can also, you know, reinforce very quickly as well. Very important once you hit max to actually just build a lot of warp gates as well, so that you know, because obviously once you're max, you're not going to spend money on units, so you might as well spend money on a lot of gateways, so that once the engagement happens, you can have a big round of warp-ins to help reinforce your army, and that often actually does make the difference in these big battles, the second warp-in round. Because with good positioning and with good composition, if both players have good similar army compositions and the same placement, the armies will generally trade fairly evenly. So if you can have a much bigger second warp-in round, that can be very, very useful. Meanwhile, though, fourth base is about to be established, and oh, the Warp Prism flying into a cannon. What's actually in that? Oh, nothing's in it. He's just going to do a warp in here. Alright. So warping in a whole bunch of speed lots, and this is actually a very good idea here. Except that there's going to be a big attack coming in. Oh man. Here we go. He's walking right up into the natural here. It looks like actually Xanadu's army is at the third. He's going to be a little bit out of position. He's going to be charging up his own ramp. Oh my god, Xanadu picking possibly one of the worst positions to engage here, attacking up his own ramp into his natural. However, he might have a bit of a defender's advantage here. It looks like Best might be in trouble. Best losing all of his support units. Looks like Best is going to get pushed back here. He's only Colossi left, and so many Colossi left for his opponent. Oh my god, Best getting crushed here. I thought he had a much better position. I thought by moving to the top of that ramp, he could have got a much better concave against Xanadu, who had to charge up that ramp. But instead, somehow Best has ended up with almost nothing left, and this is going to be so bad. He's going to clean up the Warp Prism in his main, but this has got to be game. I mean, it's like 8 Colossi left against 2. Even with double robos, even if it's like quadruple robos, it's going to be so hard for him to catch up. And, well, Xanadu, he smells blood. He's going for the counterattack. I mean, and while all this was happening, he even got a 4th base. I mean, he's ahead in every aspect now. He's ahead in the Colossi count, the crucial Colossi count, and in the bases. It's 9 Colossi to 4 right now. So, well, here we go. It looks like Xanadu's actually not attacking. I'm so curious why he's not. Is he just? I think he's just waiting for a couple more rounds of Warpins to buffer. Because one big mistake that some Protoss players make is if you counterattack too soon, if you've lost most of your buffering units as well, if you have only Colossi, that's actually not quite as effective as you might think against just mass gateway. I mean, obviously it's very good against gateway units, but you know, if he gets a good surround off and has a couple of Immortals and whatnot, you can actually lose a bunch of Colossi very quickly if you don't have enough Zealots and Archons and whatnot tanking for you. So I think it is smart to not get too aggressive or too eager in the counterattack, but he does want to move quickly here before the Colossi count catches up again. You don't want to let Best just remax here, and it looks like he is going to go for it, bringing the Warp Prism along as well, and allow him to reinforce instantly here. Not moving into phase mode just yet. And there is the phase mode, there's the warp in, and here's the engagement. Once again, I think this is a slightly better angle for Best, but just not nearly enough units this time. Yeah, not even close. And I think Xanadu is going to crush through here. We are going to an ace match. GG from Best, 2-0. Air Force Ace forcing an ace match once again here. They have the potential to knock off the other telecom from the playoffs. So this is just going to be unbelievable. Air Force Ace, can they do it? Can they do it? It's just one more game here. It's going to be the ace match. Who's going to come out? I mean, you know, Sun is clearly the best StarCraft 2 player on SKT. Well, I'm not sure about clearly, but you know, he made it pretty far in WCS. He seems to be sent out in most of their ace matches, and I mean, we could just end up with a PvP here, you know, Xanadu versus Sun, or Xanadu versus Cal, or sorry, Sun versus Cal rather. I mean, I don't want it to be a PvP, but I think it's highly likely that it will be. And man, come on, Ace, you can do it! Take him out! No KT, no SKT! Come on, come on! I mean, I really hope SKT sends Bisu out for ace match. Please send Bisu and lose. Please. Please. Please, please, please. Come on. Come on. Come on, Ace. Come on, Cal. Come on, Glenchi.